basically, I started skating when I was 3.5 years old, and today I'm 34. So it's close to 31 years that I've been in the sport, and I started the sport when I did not know that this sport is called skating. So since then, I've been in the sport.
So you've been in the field for so many years, and what major changes have you seen?
Well, basically, when I first got into the sport, it was just like a fancy sport. The sport used to happen in our, at the old city, we used to have exhibition grounds. Over there, the sport used to happen. So from there, we picked it up professionally, where, we did not have the subject knowledge. So from USA and other places, people sent video cassettes and books. So those were our gurus, and we started learning from there. And since then, foreign coaches started coming to India. We started later on having internet, and then, on the net we used to see videos, and then YouTube and everything. So we've made a big transition, and today, India, we can proudly say that, anytime we go to any championship at the world level, we're in the top 10 as such. So,
do you think one or two sports are being dominant in the country?
Definitely. It's just that we are not against any sports, but we wish that every sport in India is treated at par. Like, predominantly say it could be cricket, and then, badminton and tennis, and then hockey. But 4 or 5 games, I wouldn't say 2 games, but 4 or 5 games. But then after that, the other sports are really ignored. India is so good in many other sports, like, say handball, throw ball, basketball, and athletics, which is so important. Gymnastics and skating, we're all world champions, and, many of us Arjuna Awardees also in this. So India has a lot of talent, lot of material, but we're not able to capitalize because the country is predominantly education oriented, and then the parents want that the children should go on to become doctors and engineers, but no one thinks of becoming a great sportsman and an Olympian or a Olympic gold medalist. So this is the kind of the culture India is having as of now. And it should start from the parents, the youngsters, that there are so many other fields to explore and excel, because not all children are the same. Some could be good at education, some could be good at sports, and some could be good at cricket, but the others who are good at other sports should also get the recognition. So they all should be treated at par.
How important do you think is family support in a player's life?
I think family plays a major role, because it's the parents who first take their children to the grounds, and they give them the formal introduction. So as any education, it should start from home. I think even sports really starts from home. The parents have to sacrifice a lot, because every parent should at least to come and drop their children and pick them back, and then during that 1 or 2 hours of practice, the parents really have to stay in and around, even though not in the ground, but somewhere around to take them, pick them back. So it's a sacrifice of a few hours in a day, which is very crucial, because the money factor later to put in for your equipment, to go for training, to go for competitions, international training and international exposure, all this in the long run, in the short run, every time there's a lot of expense. So the parents really sacrifice a lot of their time, efforts, money, everything to get their children to become great sportsmen.
So considering several statistics, reports and all, the dropout percentage has been increasing and decreasing. It's been kind of fluctuating. So what do you think is the reason for that dropout percentage?
You mean in education?
No,
in sports. The first and foremost thing is that we have to see that you tell me which government in India is actually supporting sports. It's like there is zero support for sports by way of equipment, by way of infrastructure, by way of in school, chalo, someone is doing good, so because they have to leave school and go outside for sports, out of station and all. How many schools are actually after the child comes back to take the classes which are lost? For children who are from 3rd standard to 8th standard, your mathematics, the basics, all your right from addition, subtraction, multiplication, division to even something else algebra and everything, your basics are taught in school. And when a child actually misses out those things, definitely his the marks come down, and then the parents are like, oh my god, my child is going bad in education because he is spoiling himself in sports. That is not the criterion. Your child is actually making his foundation somewhere else, and for the foundation of life like algebra and other things, the teachers and the school should do something. and from the government. Many of the times, I have seen many talented sportsmen just leaving sports because they don't have the money to go to even out of station for a championship. So this is one major thing.
Since we've talked about money and all,
Yeah.
the involvement of corporate sponsorship is playing a major role in many events these days.
Yeah.
What impact is corporate sponsorship having on a player or an event or particular sport?
Frankly speaking, the corporates are playing it very safe by going to those top 3 or 4 sports only. Those top 3 and 4 sports don't need any more corporates to come into it. Rather, the corporates are putting their name and level down by being a mediocre sponsor for these big sports. These big sports already have the biggest of the top 100 companies of the world are anyways supporting them. So these people want to fight and just get their place like somewhere over there in one small place or somewhere here. They just have that corporate name over there. Rather the corporates can do so much more by going to the small cities, towns, suburbs, the 2-tier cities, and bring out the talent at the grassroots level and make their name so big, because I think the cream crowd, like they say, for which like other sports have, is only from the cities. But what about the towns, suburbs and villages? No one is really catering to that. So I think the corporates are doing it for the sake of doing it, but not really doing it to make a difference, because India is the country with the highest number of youth, and we are going to be the number one and with the most youngest people, so we are not doing anything about them in sports.
So gender is one other factor that has a major impact in sports participation.
Yes.
So do you think that is changing these days with women participating in a lot of sports?
Of course, like my own niece, she skates, and in many of our sports, like the girls, they have to wear shorts or skirts, or we have the gymnastic pants and t-shirts and other things. So all I would like to say is that before there was a lot of stigma or something towards this, but now people are seeing a sportswoman as a sportswoman and not in the bad angle. So this is a very good thing, because we see that so many women are more successful in sports than men in India.
So why do you think sports is still not a mainstream career option in India?
The two main things are sports. You have to start it early, and your career as a sportsman finishes at a time when you're in maximum your 30s or some sports 40s, wherein then the sportsman will have to either become a coach or a mentor, or go into say like the management and associations, or become a coach, a coach also. So what happens is that unlike education, everyone can pass out from their 10th. Everyone can go and pass their engineering and become an MBA. But in sports, out of 100 people, one becomes a champion, and then 1 silver medal and 1 bronze medal. So the dejection point is also there a lot. So this is one thing inherent in sports. I mean, in every phase of life, you win and you lose. But in sports, it's very definite that yes, this team or this person is first, second and third. So I think that is one major reason why it fluctuates over there. Yeah.
Thank you so much.